looked up at the sky during a thunderstorm, felt a cool drop of water land right on your nose, and wondered, where exactly does rain come from? Well, welcome to today's Explainer. We are going on a massive, totally invisible adventure that is happening all around you, right at this very second. Okay, let's dive into this. Today, we're talking about the magic journey of a water drop. Think of the water cycle as this grand, epic storybook adventure. You know, the water you drink today, it's literally the exact same water that dinosaurs drank millions of years ago. It's basically Earth's ultimate recycling system, and we're going to see exactly how it all works. Chapter 1, the magic water circle. We can actually break this grand adventure down into 3 simple, almost magical tricks that water can do. First, disappearing, which scientists call evaporation. Second, floating, or condensation. And third, falling, which is known as precipitation.
Chapter 2, Up, Up, and Away.
That brings us to water's very first magic trick, how it seems to just vanish into thin air. The trick is evaporation. Here, the sun acts like a giant, super powerful heater. It warms up the oceans, the lakes, and even those tiny mud puddles left in your driveway after a storm. As the water gets warm, it turns from a liquid into a floating, invisible gas called water vapor, and it just rises right up into the sky.
Chapter 3, Making Fluffy Clouds.
So once that invisible vapor rises high up into the chilly sky, what happens next? Well, it's time for condensation. Way up high, the air is really cold, and as our invisible water vapor cools down, it actually hugs tiny specks of dust, salt, or smoke that are floating around up there. As they huddle together, they form tiny liquid droplets. It's kind of like a group of friends gathering together in the sky. When enough of these friends group up, they form the fluffy clouds you see floating right above you.
Chapter 4, Falling Back Down.
And now we arrive at the really thrilling moment, when those fluffy clouds get just way too full and heavy to hold all their new friends. This is precipitation. Inside the cloud, millions of tiny cloud droplets bump into each other and combine. When they get too big and heavy for the air to hold them up, well, they have no choice but to fall out of the sky. Depending on how cold it is outside, they might fall as rain, snowy flakes, slippery sleet, or even chunks of ice that we call hail. You know, we usually draw raindrops looking like little teardrops, right? Actually, scratch that. That's not how they look at all. As raindrops fall and grow, the wind pushing up against them squishes their bottoms completely flat, making them look just like a hamburger bun. No kidding. And if they get really, really big, they open up almost like a tiny parachute before breaking apart into smaller drops. So the crucial point is how much water is actually falling when it rains. To put it into perspective, if just 1 single inch of rain falls on 1 acre of land, which is roughly the size of a football field, that equals a whopping 27,154 gallons of water. That is an unbelievable amount of water dropping from the sky in just a small summer storm. Chapter 5, the Forest Fountains. Okay, let's add a super fascinating twist to our story by exploring a secret way that water gets back into the sky without just evaporating from a puddle. This secret trick is called transpiration. Basically, plants and trees act like giant living fountains. They suck up moisture deep from the ground using their roots, and then they literally breathe that water out into the air as vapor through tiny little holes in their leaves. And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer power of nature. Experts actually tell us that every tree in the forest is a fountain. In massive forests like the Amazon rainforest, you have billions of trees all working together, breathing out water vapor. They release so much water that they actually create massive invisible rivers flowing right above our heads in the sky. It's absolutely amazing. So, we've reached the end of our journey today. But remember, the water's journey never actually ends. After this, I want you to go look outside your window. If you see a puddle, a river, a tree, or a cloud, just ask yourself, where is that water going to travel next on its endless, magical adventure? Will it become a hamburger bun raindrop, or maybe float all the way over the Amazon rainforest? Thanks for exploring the amazing water cycle with me.